There are three things that control your state. State is how you feel. The first one is your focus. Second is your physiology. And the last one is your self-talk. And then meaning, like the story or whatever you want to give it. So what that looks like is, focus is that image in our mind. Not our conscious image. Like when people say, what am I focused on? Right? Oh, I'm focused on the sun. No. What does the sun tell you about your future? Everything you look at tells you something about the future. You coming here was an indication of what you believed would happen in your future if you come here. Everything you do, even how you dress, was a prediction of how you will come off, appear, what will happen in the future based on every decision you made. You showered and brushed your teeth today because there's a prediction in the future about what would happen if you didn't or if you did. Make sense? So every decision is a decision to create a different future. So far, that everyone's on the same page with, correct? So it's not the present that creates the future, it's the future that creates the present. It's a backwards way to look at it, but that's actually what's happening. Okay? Your future self creates your present self. So whatever I believe will be me in the future is my identity here in the present. And people's identity change depending on what they see in the future. When you get into a breakup, my identity has now changed because I no longer see myself in that future with that person, and then people get lost. That's when they cut their hair, they try to redefine themselves, they try to figure it out because that entire reality got shattered. Well, if you're in abundance, it's kind of hard to shatter that reality. It's hard to get rid of that because you're in massive abundance. So abundance just means I'll still get there no matter what. That's the mindset you want to be in. But to have that level of awareness, you really got to be focused and clear on where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there. So focus is not just what I see today. It's how what I'm looking at today is primed by what I believe will happen in the future. My focus is actually what am I subconsciously predicting about my future. That's what focus actually is. Focus isn't, oh wow, look, I'm looking into someone's eyes. Okay? Let's just say you're on a date and you look into someone's eyes and you love their eyes. Great. But what you're really looking at is a connection that says they're going to be in my future and my future is going to look really good with them. That's what it means. When someone says something rude to you, it shatters that future and now you feel a negative state because you no longer see what you want, you see what you don't want. Make sense? So I'll show you how to not waver. It's called frame control, all right? This is also another word for your frame, your focus, your frame of mind. It's another word for it. Now, imagine we're watching this video, all right, the way you see it on screen. You're watching this on video. Well, what you're watching is a snippet of the past. However, what if you were watching this in the future? Like, what if I was 5 years old watching me on stage right now at 27? It would probably shape a lot of my future. If I saw my lifestyle, my cars, my success, everything, it would change me. Well, that's exactly what happened when I was 17. This is what I saw. Actually, this is smaller than what I saw. I even have a video at my first ever seminar talking about people are going to pay me a lot of money to come see me, and there are people who got to do it for free and they didn't, right? And that's my first ever video at my first ever seminar when I said there are 4 people here, maybe 1 or 2 more are coming, 7 showed up, right? So I bring that up because I was clear on the vision. Some of you are like, well, how did he get so good? How is he so young? I was just clear for a long time. I was clear consistently for more time. Most people can't stay on their goal for more than a few months max, maybe even a few hours at a time, and then they'll have bursts of motivation where they absolutely need it. And that burst of motivation is a moment where you catch that wave. I told you there's a string that pulls you there, and that string is like a wave. And once you catch it, you got to stay on it. Some people stay on it, some people fall off. And it only takes a small thing to fall off. You stop going to the gym 1 time, then it becomes 2, and then you're off. You wake up a little bit later today, you don't close one deal today, and you start focusing immediately on, oh, I'm not good anymore, I lost my sauce, I'm not the same. Automatically you're there. You're out of the same state that got you there. So your focus, most important thing you got to work on. When they talk about state, your focus is probably at the top. Why? Not because it's the biggest lever, but because it's the most difficult to pay attention to. It's actually the most cunning. I swear to God, the number one thing I shift, if you want to know why my interventions are so effective, it's because when I'm talking to you, I'm literally just paying attention to what result you're focused on in your life. And then I shift it. That's the simplest way I could tell you I help people out. I help people by making them literally believe that that's possible and that that's not the reality anymore. And they're like, wow, you're so life-changing. Now, then you got physiology. Now, physiology is also very important because a lot of people are addicted to bad habits that physiologically make them feel like shit. If I don't sleep, if I drink alcohol, if I do drugs, physiology, when they teach NLP, most of the time they talk about your body language. If you breathe different, you move up, you move fast, bam, you got energy. Cool. But there's other aspects to physiology that are a little bit more influential than just, look at me moving around. Cool, I'm jumping. Wow, I got energy. That's not exactly how it works. How it actually works is, what are you putting in your body? Am I taking care of my body? Am I drinking water? Am I eating well? Am I sleeping well? Am I under stress all the time? What is going on with my body? Am I sick? Okay? All of that. If you go get a blood panel, what are you lacking? I promise you, most of you don't even look at the one thing. Like when you have a car, all right? Especially my cars. If the oil level, because they're so sensitive, they're so tuned to be a certain way, right? These hypercars, these supercars, that if the oil level is even a few percent off, too high, too low, you could fuck up the entire car. Like literally you blow your engine and then you're out of pocket $150K just to replace the engine. And the car is worthless now because you swapped the motor, right? Point is, even being a little bit off in a car, right? There are so many sensors in modern cars that tell you what's going on that it's like, oh shit, like I gotta take care of this. Even if one thing goes wrong for a second, check engine light pops up, right? It's just so much going on. Well, you're a very fine-tuned machine. And your body tries to compensate for anything that's off. So when you're a bit too fat, your body tries to compensate for it. When you're a little bit cold, your body starts to shiver, right? To get you warm. When you're a bit too hot, you start to sweat. Everything has homeostasis. When you're underslept, you have a little bit more adrenaline and cortisol moving through your body. Everything is about emotional and physical homeostasis. Now, when I bring this up to you, it's because who here, honestly, has gotten a full blood panel where you look at every marker in your body and you go, where am I deficient, where am I not? Okay, who hasn't? Great. Well, here's some advice. Go do it. Go look at, hey, you know, I'm missing vitamin D, I'm missing vitamin B, I'm missing magnesium, I don't have iron in my body, my cholesterol level's high, testosterone is shit, right? Like, there's a million things that go down in your body that automatically would make you have more energy, allow your brain to be sharper, allow you to feel better. So I moved into, I was living in a mansion for a few years, and I started working. Normally, I'd go on walks every day, but because I was rebuilding a lot of shit last year, I was pretty much inside on my iPad, like computer, working during daylight hours. So I didn't realize this because I'd never had this issue, but at the same time, I was on a diet, I was cutting, right? I'm cutting now too, but I was cutting less aggressively than I'm cutting right now, and I felt exhausted all the time. I thought it was because I was on a diet. I thought it was because I was on a cut. I go get a blood panel, and my vitamin D level is at 18 out of 100. It should be at least over 50 at the minimum. It's at 18. I just take like 90,000 IU, okay, of vitamin D. I eat it with like the fattiest thing I could possibly eat. I take like whole milk, like a ribeye steak, and I just take it. It was like 9 pills of 10,000 IU, all right, these gel pills. I took magnesium with it, a shit ton. I took a bunch of stuff with it, okay? Within like 2 hours, I had more energy than I'd ever had. As my body was so deficient, it absorbed the vitamin D instantly. Like not all of it, but I immediately felt better. I had no idea that the reason I was tired, I was like, damn, I'm really getting older at 26. I'm really getting older, right? Like, why is my life so fucking hard? Like, how does that old guy over there have more energy than I do? I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like going on stage and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm falling asleep an hour into a seminar? Well, you would be shocked that just looking at your blood tells you almost everything about you. It could tell you what's going on. Now, why is that also good and insightful? Because some of us have a massive cognitive dissonance to what's going on in our lives. You're like, oh, I'm healthy, it's fine, whatever. Little do you know, you're on the verge of getting diabetes. Little do you know, you're on the verge of having a fucking blood clot somewhere and getting a stroke. Little did you know, you're probably going to die if you keep it up. You get a blood panel, you're like, whoa. I now have X-ray vision into what's happening in my body. And you can personally fix everything in your body because you see what's wrong. So, I would go get a full blood panel, it costs like $500, plug it into ChatGPT, and bam, go do what it tells you to do. It will change your life. Physiologically, you want to feel more confident, you want to feel more energized, you want to enjoy your life a little bit more. That's the ultimate hack. Second hack, stop drinking alcohol completely. Stop and stop doing drugs. Any drugs, not occasionally. I'll tell you the honest truth. Do any drug once and your brain is permanently damaged. Do it multiple times and you're just fucking it up beyond belief. Any drug. I do not care what the drug is. Now, people ask me what my opinion is on psychedelics. Here's my unfiltered, unbiased opinion. I don't think you should do psychedelics. Why, Marcel? Because I've seen countless people go into psychosis from it, one. Second thing I'll tell you is, someone will argue, well, when you're dying, your brain releases DMT. It's like, okay, so am I dying? Then why do I need to do what my brain's doing when I'm dying? It's like, well, everyone sees the same thing. Like, it's crazy. Cool. Well, I don't have enough curiosity to go look, even if it is real, even if the other side is more real than this, I genuinely don't think it's worth the risk. Go look at how many people come back in a massive psychosis. They don't know who the fuck they are. Their entire future gets collapsed. Because what's happening when you're on these psychedelics is it fucks with your perception and it fucks with the chemicals in your brain so massively that even that future no longer looks compelling. And now it's almost impossible to tap into that motivation again. And that's why a lot of the people who do psychedelics become hippies. They just don't care anymore. They sell all their belongings. They just give up on everything. They don't give a shit. Why? Because they completely changed, they literally rewired their brain so dramatically that any of the superficial, meaningless stuff no longer matters. Drugs, alcohol, destroy your physiology in the worst way. Now the last one is self-talk. Self-talk and meaning, most people say is like, what do I tell myself, right? And you can control that. It's like almost like a suggestion you're giving yourself in your brain, like a hypnotic suggestion. But also, it's your perception of what you're feeling. It's your brain's way of synthesizing the emotion and the data and giving it a definition. So someone says something to you, your brain then synthesizes it, gives it a definition, and then you go, yeah, like that girl who didn't like me because I talked about Trump, right, on the Zoom thing. Is she on? This would be a good lesson for her. No. That was the lesson. What do you think her self-talk is from that, right? Anyway, anyways, so the question is, what's the meaning you give yourself? If someone says something to you that's offensive, you go, this means that I am not good enough. This means that that person doesn't love me. This means that I'm not going to get what I want. I'm going to fail, right? So that's kind of the meaning, the story, and then the words you tell yourself are, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm this, I'm that. Now you're in a negative state. Whereas the words I tell myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm the best, this is easy, yeah, I got this, easy. Like someone's like, oh, I got this problem, yeah, whatever, I don't really care, it's not a big deal. People are it's almost like, why is he so nonchalant? Like if no one's ever seen me do what I do, and they come to me with a problem, and I act nonchalant about it, people are like, wow, this guy is so unempathetic. Yeah, I'm not empathetic to something that takes 10 seconds to fix. Like imagine you're like, oh, look how long my nail is. My nail's so long. Oh my God, my nail is long. And you just go, snip. They're like, oh my God, he fixed it, ah, right? That's how I view these psychological problems. It's like, snip. And then someone looks at it like, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe what just happened. You just cut my fucking nail, you know? Point is, for me, there are things that aren't a big deal, but again, that shows you I don't pedestalize this stuff, which is probably why you want to come to me. Like, do you want to go to the doctor where you go to him and you're like, yo, look, I got this thing, this issue. Can you fix it? And he goes, oh boy. Oh shit. Yeah, you might die. Or do you want to go to the doctor? He goes, yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. Which doctor are you going to? Oh shit. Right? Or do you want to go to the one where like you're in a third world country and he's like, yo, let me get the scalpel. Wait, aren't you supposed to put me under? Oh shit, yeah, 1 second. Flicks the thing. Are you supposed to measure it? Do you even know my weight? I guess, right? They put it in your arm. And it's like, wait, you're going to wash your hands? No, we don't need to, right? Like, you can put that doctor too. There's people like that. It's I was in the Bahamas with a crackhead, and she wasn't a crackhead yet. She came with her dad. We're at dinner on day 2. Her dad suddenly, I'm like, how do you like the food? Because I see him, he leans back, and he like almost barely breathing. He's turning red. And I look at him, because no one's noticing, and I'm like, how's your food? And he's like trying to talk and he can't. And I'm like, oh, he's having a stroke. Like, it's just immediately in my brain popped up, he's having a stroke. So I told them, like, hey guys, I'll be right back, because I didn't want anyone to know what was going on. And I'll be right back. Don't let him get up, okay? I get up, I'm like, yo, someone's having a stroke. Can you get an ambulance? They're like, yeah, it doesn't work like that here in the Bahamas. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, it doesn't work like that here. I said, so how does it work? I'm like, well, you just got to drive him to the hospital. I'm like, okay, where's the hospital? Who's going to drive us? Like, okay, we can get you a taxi. It'll come in 20 minutes. Like, we don't have 20 minutes. What are you fucking talking about? You know? So anyways, I make a scene. They help us get him into the thing. And they're like, there's 2 hospitals. There's a private hospital and a public one. I'm like, which one's better? They're like, the private one. I'm like, okay, let's go there. They're like, well, it's 5 minutes further. I said, go to the fucking hospital. You're so fucking annoying. We go in there, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, nurse. Someone just had a stroke. And they're like, please get in line. There's like 20 people in line. I'm like, no. Someone just had a stroke. There's no line. It's an emergency. You need to see a doctor. She's like, yeah, get in line, sir. I'm like, fuck you. I walk to the back, and I'm like, where's the doctor at? And they're like, you can't be back here. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Where's the doctor? I find the doctor. The doctor's like, excuse me, what are you doing? I'm like, someone just had a stroke, and the nurse is ignoring it. He's like, are you serious? And he yells at the nurse. He's like, you stupid fucking bitch. What are you doing? This is serious. She's like, oh, I didn't know. And then he pulls him to the back, and he's like, yeah, well, you're lucky you didn't die. He has like half his face is like paralyzed. The point is, like, it's like this poor doctor, brilliant, okay? He's actually a brilliant guy, but he's dealing with a team that doesn't even know what's going on. They don't know left from right. Point is, when I was there, I'm observing him do this, and that doctor was extremely competent, super comfortable, super intelligent, but everyone else in the hospital, I was like, oh, he's about to die. Like, if the doctor is anything like what I'm seeing here, this ain't happening. Like, this is gonna be the worst situation I've ever seen in my life. Now, I have a friend who's crashed his motorcycle 3 times. The 3rd time he crashed his motorcycle, he got a bacterial infection in his body, okay, but not a regular one, a super infection, which is resistant to all antibiotics, okay? How? We went to the doctor. Nurse comes to clean up the wound in the ER with all the antibiotic-resistant bacteria that's in the ER, and doesn't do a good job cleaning it up. She cleans it up and then goes with her hand that was just touching the chair, and he's looking at it like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, the alcohol will kill that, don't worry, right? And he's like, anyways, he ends up getting this infection. Hour to hour, the infection's moving. You could literally see it moving up his leg. He gets on it, he was about to have to amputate. He had like 2 days left before he had to amputate his leg. Luckily, the IV antibiotics worked. But this is a hospital 20 minutes from this hotel. I was born in that hospital, all right? Like, I'm just letting you know. And you would be shocked as to how incompetent some people are. But the reason we think they are competent It's because of the definition we give it. We call it a symbol of authority. So if I just wear a trench coat, like imagine I came in here with a lab coat, it said Dr. Klein, and I'm hypnotizing people. So imagine I got like a degree in psych, and I was still doing all of this. Like a psychiatric degree. You guys would be like, wow, that guy's a doctor. I can't do that. Right? Well, doctors can't do this. All they can do is prescribe medication. But people trust doctors because it says doctor. And what are we taught? Genius. Yeah, genius, doctor, right? Now, this is the point of this last part here. Remember when I showed you guys the self-talk meaning portion? Most people, when they teach this, don't talk about self-talk. They just say meaning. They don't say, what do you say to yourself? They just say, okay, what's the story? I threw in the self-talk portion because remember when I told you about me giving someone the ID and I'm like, yeah, you're good, you're fine, it's fine, go ahead, you're good. I get my ID back. Thanks very much. Well, that's the self-talk I'm hijacking. I'm hijacking their self-talk, and then it goes into a state where suddenly I'm able to get into whatever I want to get into. I'm able to go into fast lanes and, like not have to wait in line in any amusement park. Well, that's happening because I'm hijacking that. So everyone has a positive state, like a crazy motivated state that gets you where you want to go. Everybody. In that state, we've all tapped into it. Everybody here has felt it, at least for a small period of time. Like that feeling where you're so excited, you can't control yourself. Even if you're younger. I remember when I was young and we had like a trip to Disneyland or something, and normally I wake up, I want to sleep in. I couldn't wait to get out of bed to go to Disneyland. Like I could not wait. That state, even little kids feel it, right? I'm excited to see my friends. I'm excited for whatever. Prom, formal, whatever the big deal is, everyone gets excited for it. You always have a state that puts you there. If you're ready to truly reprogram your mind so you can have everything you've wanted, you want to make more money, you generally want to get in shape, you want to attract your ideal partner, what has to happen? Is it years of therapy? Is it years of coaching? Or what if you had an audio you could listen to? 5 audios specifically for 15 minutes a day that completely rewired your mind. Well, I have a program called Subconscious Remap, and there's a link below in the description. And what it does over 5 days is you listen to an audio for 15 minutes a day. The same way you listen to music, except when you finish listening to this audio, your mindset has completely changed. Your confidence skyrockets. Suddenly money starts pouring into your pocket. Suddenly people are calling you that you didn't even expect. You maybe didn't talk to them for years, and then bam, they're interested in you. Bam, they call you. Where is it coming from? Your brand new programming. You show up different. You find a new fire inside you. So if you're genuinely interested in completely changing your life over 5 days, we're having a crazy sale right now, 90% off Subconscious Remap. Usually it's $3,000. Right now and right now only, it's $297. Click the link below. If you happen to watch this video on a later date, the link will likely redirect you to somewhere else. If for some reason my team forgot to do it, lucky you. Enjoy Subconscious Remap, have it rewire your mind, and let me help you go to the next level.